Hello my lovelies, how are you all today? I hope you're well. Still a bit warm. I'm sitting on the end of my bed just to get a little bit more light because it's quite overcast today. So we have cooled down a little bit. Hallelujah! Oh my goodness. I managed to get a little bit of sleep last night, it was brilliant. But it's still quite warm and muggy in the flat. It's going to take a few days for all the heat that's built up in here to disperse. So first of all, it's going to be a bit of a quickie today. I just want to show you a little bit of footage I shot yesterday afternoon. I don't know what time it was. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The skies began to darken and I got very excited at the prospect of a big rainstorm. So let's quickly hop back to yesterday and see what happened. Right, excuse the noise, it's a busy street down there. Can you hear me? The reason I've just whipped my camera out is because it's suddenly getting dark. A stiff breeze is picking up, and that over there, that whole horizon, normally I can see the hills over there. It's gone really dark. I think finally we may have a storm rumbling in. Oh, I'm so excited if it brings rain. I tell you what, if this brings rain, I'm going to go out on the roof and I'm going to dance. I'm going to dance like a giddy-gurdy. Yeah, that definitely feels like a storm. And I don't know if it was my mind tricking me, but I think I can hear really distant, but definitely there, rumbles of thunder. Oh, bring it on, moody sky, love it. Just as a contrast, out of the other side, you can see that sky is much lighter. I mean, it's still pretty thick cloud, and this is what is keeping us really hot and humid, but it's a much lighter sky. There doesn't look like there's any storm in there, unlike what I can see from about 20 miles away with the other view. Oh, I'm getting excited. I hope it comes to something. Oh, it's getting blacker by the minute, and the very first few drops. Let me show you in my gutter here. Look, the first drops are arriving. Woohoo! So I think, sorry, wobble, I'm excited. I think it might be time to get out on the roof and enjoy every single drop of this gorgeous stuff. Yay! It's just starting. Oh, come on, rain. Therefore, I'm gonna dance and dance. I don't even know if you can hear me. This is my back roof. It's not my roof. Well, you're in the kitchen, I'm on the roof. The first few drops. It's gorgeous. It's going to be a really good test for this roof because we've just had to have this roof redone. I'm excited. This is where I keep threatening to sleep. Oh, come on, more. I want it to lash. Oh, I can't look too far because I have terrible vertigo. Someone's got a bit of music on next door. Rain dancing on the roof. Oh. Wonderful. I want it to get really heavy though, but this is a start. Thank you, clouds. I'm thinking though, maybe I should get back indoors before the lightning starts to strike. Yeah, I've got a very small hole to crawl through. See you later. Ooh, that's getting a bit more like it. You can probably tell, look, in just the space of a minute, since I've crawled back into the building, it really is a tight space. It's getting darker by the minute. The rain is getting a little bit heavier. It's getting really, really close in terms of the humidity and the heat. That actually feels like it's gone up. When the breeze comes through the window, the breeze is cool and lovely, but at the moment it does feel like we're about to enter sauna territory. Oh, we need to just really, really, really chock down. Really chock down. And then, oh yeah, then go out and dance in the puddles. That in the far distance, that mast you can see, that's the TV mast. Oh, first bit of lightning, that's the TV mast at Crystal Palace. I think I should back away from the window if we're starting to get some lightning. It doesn't look that dark up there on camera, but it is. Oh, rumbles of thunder, fantastic. So I'm back on the front of the house at the moment. It's just a little, it's not a huge amount of rain just at the moment, but the storm is it's about 10 miles away still. I just want to show you quickly, I'm going to take you back to the kitchen. Can you hear me over the traffic noises? Oh, the joys of living on a main road. Yeah, I just want to show you the website I use to check out and track our storms. It's really, really rather fascinating. I hope this will pick up. I hope you'll be able to see what I'm seeing. So at the moment on screen here is central London. This is Kent, so my great aunt, well, she's off the map that way. Sussex, Surrey, what have you. And this is a really fantastic site. It's called lightningmaps.org, and it's a real-time tracker. Well, it's actually, there's a delay. They do say at the top of the screen what the delay is. We're currently on a 4.2 second delay. This map does two things. One, it shows lightning, and two, it shows thunder. So you see where it suddenly went, you get a bright yellow circle with a red ring around it. That indicates a lightning strike. So all these little dots, the rest of these little dots, they basically, you get a dot for a lightning strike and it fades through the colours from bright yellow with a red circle to yellow, orange, a browny colour, and then a sort of deep dark burgundy. And that sort of shows them fading in time. So you can look over here and say, okay, all these strikes were 40 minutes, an hour ago. You can see where the current strikes are. Now I live up a ways here, just for reference, with Richard and Paul, because I know you guys watch them. They live over here in West London. So yesterday when I was watching this site, I could see these storms developing, and then they went over here and then up over towards Oxford, completely missing my neck of the woods. Now, the other thing you can see, the sort of the grey circle, which starts dark and it gets wider and wider and fades. And can you see these white rings here? This represents the thunder, the rumbles of thunder. So as the circle gets bigger, the rumble, it's the spreading distance, and when the white line fades, in theory, that's where you can't any longer hear that bit of thunder. So when it first pops up, like it's just popped up here, we've had a flash of lightning, we've got a dark circle. Oh, here's perfect. They've had the lightning, they've heard the thunder right there really intensely. But as you come out, as this circle gets bigger, these people 2-3 miles away, this line represents they're going to hear the thunder as well, but it's not really a big clap of it. So where I am up, I've lost where I am, sort of here-ish. Do you see the edge of that white circle? that's the thunder I'm hearing at the moment, but that's actually coming from, I don't know how far that is, maybe 10 miles? Oh, is it 10 miles? I don't know. But what I'm enjoying at the moment is where we're starting to get these strikes and the thunder now. 2 hours ago, they were a bit just off the page. So it is moving north. Now what I want today is for it to keep moving north, slightly northeast, to come to me, to give me a really good soaking here, rather than start to veer off west and give Richard and Paul a soaking again. I mean, I want them to have a soaking, of course I do. But for the likes of me and Siggy, who also lives in southeast London, and so many others of you, we want this to come up, please. Anyway, it's a great map. It's really, really addictive to watch. You can scroll out, you can make this map much smaller in terms of, I'm quite close into London. I could look at this map and have it as England. I could draw further out, and for example, yesterday when Richard and Paul over here were getting their thunder and rain, I could see there was a massive activity going on in Normandy, in the north of France, and it started to move north across the channel, and it was making a beeline for me, and I was thinking, yes, come to mama. And then at about 1 o'clock this morning, it sort of veered right and trickled out. So yeah, have a little look at this lightning maps thing. It's fab. Love it. Well, my excitement was short-lived. That shower that was going on whilst I was out on the roof, it continued for about half an hour, but it was the lightest of light rain. I mean, I don't even know I want to call it rain. It was just like someone had sneezed with moisture. Anyway, it's a start. Very grateful for that little bit. We are now supposed to be having a week of thunderstorms, rain, so I hope we get it. I really do, because we're still bone dry. But here's the thing. I know that some folk have had so much rain in the last 24 hours that there's localised flooding in places. And I'm really sorry to hear of flooding and damage it causes. I have experienced flooding once when I had the bookshop. I know how utterly miserable it is to deal with flooding. So my heart goes out to folk who are being flooded. Some are being flooded. We're bone dry. And then I read the news about the train derailment outside, I think it was the Aberdeen to Glasgow train, and there'd been a landslip, caused the train to derail, and 3 lives were lost. It's just awful, you know. The weather is crazy, and, you know, we shouldn't take any of it for granted. You know, I think we need to see these events as a bit of a wake-up call. I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to get political, but I do just want to sort of put out my sympathy for anyone who's been, you know, had damage because of flooding, or even worse, loss of life. So on a happier note, let's find a happy thing. I'm dead excited about something, really super duper excited about it, and I will certainly bring you more of this as it develops. So I was in the garden eating Christmas pudding. No, I was in the garden one morning this week doing the watering again, and the girls next door turned up to do their watering. I think pretty much by Sunday or Monday morning, most people had switched from doing evening watering to morning watering, because the evenings were just getting warmer and warmer, well, hotter and hotter. So anyway, the girls bowled up and they said, "Oh, Vivi, have you heard about the shop? It's so close to me, it's ridiculous. I could probably make a paper aeroplane with my order written on it and fly out of my window to them. We're getting a plastic/waste-free shop on the high street finally. I'm so excited. I'm so chuffed. Any of you that have followed Richard and Paul for a while will know of Richard and Paul's friend Vanessa, who started the shop called For Earth's Sake down in Cranley in Surrey. It was wonderful. Paul did a few sort of documentary videos of the progress of the shop being built and then the opening. And now, a year and I don't know how old the shop is. It must be about 14, 16 months. Doing really well, adapted brilliantly to dealing with COVID. They do deliveries. I think someone goes out on a bicycle to do the deliveries. Brilliant. And Paul's just told me that they've invested in a vacuum pack sealer thing for cheeses and butter, that sort of thing. But the film that they get vacuum packed into is made of cornstarch. So you just toss it in the compost heap afterwards. Fantastic. Anyway, we're getting one too. I'm so excited. The funny thing was, the girls had mentioned it to me that morning and they were going off on their bicycles about sort of 4 miles up the road to where the people who were opening our shop already have one. Now, the one they already have it's a little bit off the beaten track and it's not close to public transport, so it's not anywhere on a route that I would get to on a bus. So anyway, they were going to go off and explore that shop, come back and report back to me. So off they went on their bicycles. Then another neighbour, Mark, as in Eminem, he swung by and he said, "Oh, Vivi, have you heard about the new shop?" And I said, "Yes, I have, about 5 minutes ago." And what's great, what he's heard is they're going to do a sort of an exchange scheme. So anyone with excess produce can, I think that obviously they'll have to get to know individuals and get to know, where's it been grown, how's it been grown, but they will take people's excess produce from them in exchange for a voucher to spend on something else in the shop. Brilliant. Now, the thing is, with our allotment site, we are not allowed to sell our produce. It's very clearly in the rules. And you could say with this, well, we're not selling, we're exchanging. But I think that's slightly a bend of the rules too. And in any case, I rarely have an excess of anything because, as you all know, I grow to store to have food for the entire year, not just for the summer. So when it looks like I've got a glut of something, actually, yes, it is a glut in that moment, but I'm going to preserve it and eke it out over 12 months. So for me, I probably wouldn't be in that position to be able to do any bartering unless, and there are quite a few places I know to go to, unless I do some foraging, some hedgerow foraging, in which case it's quite possible, for example, I really, really don't eat much cheese these days. Partly it's expensive and there's some ethical considerations, but this new shop are going to stock Neal's Yard dairy, which I love. So I was thinking, well, why not? Why not go and spend 2 or 3 hours foraging for hedgerow fruit and maybe be able to forage enough to exchange for a bit of cheese? I love it, I love it, I love it. I'm so excited. And the other thing I thought was, for just a brief moment I thought, and actually the girls next door mentioned it too, about why don't you see if they'll have some part-time work going? Of course, I love working in retail. I love that interaction with customers. I adored it when I ran the bookshop. But of course, the problem is standing for more than 10 or 15 minutes, especially if I'm standing still at a till, for example, I just can't do it. It's knuckle gnawing agony. I'm just useless. I can't stand up anymore. But anyway, that aside, I will certainly be going and making friends with them as soon as they open. They've just started to refurb the premises. Don't really know how far they've got. I've just been out to have a look today and it's all shuttered up today. But a couple of days ago when the shutters were up, you could sort of see there's all sorts of piles of wood and things in there. So I might go over and see if they need a hand with some painting when they get to that stage. Maybe, you know, in a few weeks when most of the fit out's been done, they might want some help with decorating, whatever. So I'll go and see if they need a hand and make some new friends. Yay! Can't wait. Right, I promised it was going to be a real quickie today. It is. I've got things to do. I've got to sort out my printer. I've been trying to print off one document. Remember I was saying yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? The heat just floored me. I didn't cope well with it at all. I managed to the garden and that was about it. So I'm playing massive catch up of all sorts of admin things, quite a lot to do with the building. This morning I had one tiny job to do, tiny job. I had to print something off and get it to someone else who also owns within the building. An hour trying to get my printer to work and I couldn't and I gave up and I just thought, it was one of those things like, look, I've wasted an hour on this already. Walk away, do something else. I went to the post office to post some books out to you lovely people who've been buying books from me, thank you. And I will try and come back to it later with fresh eyes and a calmer attitude. But yeah, machines. What was I saying the other day? Don't trust the machines. They're meant to make our lives easier. An hour to print one piece of paper. At this rate, it will be quicker to get out my calligraphy pens again. I can't speak. Get out my calligraphy pens and calligraphy the document. I'm not going to do that. I am going to crack into more stuff this afternoon though. So, toodle pips, everyone. See you soon. Hopefully, I know I keep saying it, but hopefully at some point in the garden, when I've finished playing catch up with all this really boring stuff, quite frankly, the sooner it's done, the sooner I can go out and play out and keep an eye on the progress with this shop. I will let you know as and when there are developments with it, and I'll see when they do open. I'll see if they'll let me go in with the camera to show you what wonderfulness I now have on my doorstep. Until then, take care of yourselves, lovelies, and have fun whatever you're up to. I hope you're cooling down. I hope you're getting just the right amount of rain. Not too much, not too little. Whatever it is, enjoy it. Bye for now.